And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. The debutante ball has origins in 18th century Britain, and they are still going strong today here in the United States. These events were the introduction of young women from aristocratic families to society. They also represent a young woman's transition into adulthood. Joining us to talk about it, hairstylist Kim H. and former debutantes Jacqueline W. Bostic and Jacqueline Bostic Elroy. Glad to have you both here on The Factor Uncensored. So first of all, you guys both were debutantes. What was that presented to the world?
It was a wonderful event. It was an event where you had the opportunity to be with other young women that perhaps many you might not have known until you became a part of the group, but you built up relationships and friendships that you were able to carry throughout your life.
And Jacqueline, how did this become such a huge part in the African American community? Because we know it had its start in Europe, but we have them a lot in the Black community.
Well, it started as a representation of honoring our community. For me, it was Black girl magic before that phrase ever came about. And honoring African American young women, their accomplishments, as well as their aspirations. And a community coming together to support them and let them know that they're not alone, teach them social graces, teach them etiquette, teach them how to move into that next chapter of their lives as adults.
And Kim, how has this endured so long in the Black community without fail?
I think that it's endured in our community without fail because people still want their girls, right, to be able to move into society, get a husband, understand the social mores of the contemporary time. And so there are classes and there's a whole buildup to the actual debutante ball. And so I think it's very, very relevant. And as we've talked about what, Black elegance, and
Absolutely.
It moves them into that space.
And we have two ladies here. Tell us about what they're wearing, Kim, and how important the dress is and your appearance when you're being introduced to the world at a debutante ball.
Oh my God. So actually they would be better to Miss Bostic understanding the history. Now, from what my understanding is this was the dress to be worn at your wedding as well in ancient history. I don't know.
Not today.
Not today.
Never passed today.
Yeah, that would never pass today.
So
but
the Jacquelines, go ahead, take over there.
I'll let you go, Mother.
the significance of the white and the dress.
Well, the dress is a formal dress, and it's a white dress. And it's kind of a dress of beauty as well as of innocence in a way. And it's supposed to show the beauty of the young lady, and it's something that she can always remember and share, perhaps even sometimes maybe hand it down to another family member if it's a family that does this quite a bit.
And Jacqueline, Jacqueline Jr.
I know,
How
right?
important is it to keep this tradition going when we live in a society where there are pajama bottoms and what is it, Kim, on the head?
Oh, the bonnet.
And the bonnet. How is it important to keep this going?
So it's important to keep this history,
Yeah.
to show Black excellence, to show self-worth, dignity, and who you can be. And that you don't have to just succumb to the social norms, but this is a presentation that shows how much you value yourself and understand that others are looking at you. Employers, your brand, who do you want to engage with you?
And
so
for
this
those really
represents-
quick in our last few moments, if a mother or father may see this and didn't realize their daughter can go through it, who should they reach out to start the process?
Well, it's various organizations that they can probably look up. There are sororities in the Houston area. There are different civic organizations that also host debutante balls. So they'll have to do a search online.
Okay, all right. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us here. The debutantes with history, the new debutantes. Ladies, thank you for a job. Why don't you do a little twirl and show us what you're working with?
Yeah.
In an innocent kind of way.
How about you ask them to do a curtsy? That's what they have to do.
Curtsy.
Ah, beautiful. How low can you go?
Thank you all. Now, still ahead, next we shift to another culture to learn about Quinceañeras. You're watching The Factor Uncensored. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Take a look at this. Bella Garcia from the Houston area held a quinceañera that cost 7 figures. That's over $1 million, people. It included her very own McDonald's and 30 vendors who set up shop. That's incredible. Joining us now to talk about the tradition, co-owners of Belle Couture, Edwin Santos, Mary Lou Larios, and content creator Camila Crivera. Glad to have you all here on The Factor Uncensored. When you see a quinceañera like that, your thoughts about that? 7 figures.
We were like, oh my God, that's a lot, a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It's been all over the news. But if you got it and you want to spend it.
And we heard the father say, this is for my daughter and nothing's ever too much for my daughter. And that's the way parents are. They want the best for their children, right?
Exactly.
They think the memories are forever.
Yes,
So,
yes. And for those who may have concern about it being 7 figures, that's not the reality for most. For those who may not have millions of dollars to spend on this event, you can make them affordable, right, guys?
Yes.
Of
Okay.
course.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. On the average, what would it cost?
I would say on the average, you can come out to close to around 20, 30,000.
But that's like a wedding, right?
It's like a wedding. You know, people are spending a lot of money because they want to create those memories. And, you know, everything's kind of, there's a lot of stuff going on for a quinceañera now that it's just not the hall. It's, they want to have, you know, a card. They want to have, you know, the best photographers, photo booth, robots. So, you know, it gets expensive.
And Camila and Mary Lou, when we talk about the hair, the dress, how important are those things?
Oh, it's important because that's going to be forever. We usually take the before the day off pictures. So we do the hair and makeup. And it takes like 3 or 4 hours to do it, right?
Yeah,
Camila?
it takes a while. It's all about, you know, still keeping the tradition, and, you know, obviously time has evolved. You know, the quinceañeras, they're way bigger than they were before, but yeah, it's important that every girl feels good, feels confident.
And how excited are the young ladies that you all work with when they see themselves and they realize, okay, this is my big day?
Oh wow, they feel amazing every time you see a girl come on in. You know, she's a young girl, 14, 15 years old, and then you do their hair, you do their makeup. They're just so excited for their big day, and it just boosts their confidence into, you know, becoming a woman. You know, which is what the quinceañera is all about, the transition to womanhood.
Now, Edwin, there was recently a controversy about dresses and who gets to dress really quick, and then we'll come back and see some of the dresses.
Okay.
Yeah, so the controversy is like, you know, a lot of people want to have a quinceañera. They're not Latin, so they want to have a quinceañera, but you know they're saying no, you can't have a quinceañera. So we you know, now everything's like a princess dress. So we created a Tiana dress, and Tiana is an Afro-American girl, so everybody's like, oh, you can't have that dress because, you know, so we're like, ah.
Now you got yourself in some trouble.
Yeah, can we all just get along?
Exactly. Don't go anywhere. Next, a look at some of the quinceañera fashions here. Keep it here on The Factor Uncensored. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. I'm here with our special guests from Belle Couture, co-owners of Belle Couture, Edwin and Mary Lou, and content creator Camila. And we've learned about quinceañera culture. Now it's time to take a look at some of the dresses. But before we get to that, Edwin, how should parents plan? Should they plan like a week before, years before, what?
It's more like years before.
And depending on your pocketbook.
And depending on the pocketbook. So they ask me, how long should I prepare? I tell them, okay, so if you have a car, do you want to pay in 7 years or you want to pay in 5 years?
Right.
So the longer you have, the smaller your payments are.
Okay, got it. And which age do the girls take part in this?
At the age of 15. So sometimes some parents that they like have their daughter, they're 13, they bring them. You know, we do the measurement, but we also do a measurement closer to by the day they're going to get the dress, so we can make sure, because you know sometimes they have a growth spurt real quick, and so you know we want to make sure the dress fits completely perfect.
And really quick, Marilu and Camila, do you have any etiquette courses? Do they have to take any kind of etiquette courses on how to present themselves, how to walk, how to wave during the event?
I would say not necessarily, but they do have their traditional waltz, baile sorpresa, as what it's known as. So they practice with the guys, the chambelanes, and I would say that was more of their practice before the quinceañera.
Okay, Marilu, let's begin with the first dress.
So the first dress, we have Mia. This dress was inspired by Tiana, the princess, and it has a skirt and it has a detachable train too, so she
That's
can dance
incredible.
freely. Yes, it has a corset and crystals, and also has a bow on the back.
And then for the hair, which is right now the most trendiest hair that we have so far, which is the half up, half down with the crown. And then we have with browns for the makeup, and then we added like a touch of green at the bottom.
All right, who's next on the list? Thank you, Mia.
So now she has a surprise dance, okay? So this is a quinceañera dress, but we make it in a skirt so they can dance with a surprise dance.
Yeah, we still want to keep it Western, so we added a tejana, and then we added some flowers on the tejana to add a special touch. And then we still kept the makeup still glam, and then we did Hollywood waves for the hair.
All righty. Next up.
Now we have a Jocelyn. So she has a charro dress. This is more like a traditional dress in Mexico, okay? So it has a lot of crystal. It's a two-piece dress and also has a bow in the back.
And then for the hair and makeup, for the girls that don't want their hair down, we did an updo with some curls in the front. And then for the makeup, we did go a little bit heavier. So for the girls that want to be a little bit more extra for their special day, you guys can always add glitter to your eyeshadow. And yeah, that's
Okay. And tell us about the escort. Is there any special dress for them? Come on up, sir.
So normally with them, they have, they get with the quinceañera, you know, so the chambelanes, in this case, we have high class. What they do, they talk to the quinceañera, okay, what's your dress? And then so they dress accordingly to match whatever the quinceañera is wearing, you know, with the colors. So they have a lot of suits that they have, and, you know, they always try to match as close as possible.
Thank you guys for coming by. And for those who'd like to reach you guys, where can they go? Who should they call? Where should they look online?
Belcouture.Houston on our Instagram, and Belcouture Houston on TikTok, and Hair by Marilu as well.
All right, and there's the information on the on the screen, rather, not scroll.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor
you for
Uncensored.
having
We also
us.
want to thank our participants from the Debutante Ball as well, and thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor. Have a great night. Everybody wave goodbye.
Bye.